Hello there and welcome. My name is Rolando with Global Tech Worldwide, and I've got with me at a safe 500 miles or so, socially distanced, Dave Kelly.
Hey everybody, I'm Dave
How are
with
you
Global
doing?
Tech Worldwide. I'm doing great, Rolando. How about yourself?
I'm doing real good. I am so excited about today. I've been waiting for this for quite some time. It's our Cyber Monday special. And for those that are watching us live, we welcome you on Amazon Live. We welcome you through our other channels, YouTube. We welcome you through Facebook. And if you are not watching us live and you happen to be watching this during the playback, sit back and relax. You're in for a real good treat today. So, Dave, we got a lot on our plate. We got a lot to go through with our audience and talk
We
about.
do.
We've got a bunch of things from product demonstrations. We're going to go live to our listings. And speaking of live, we're also going to be answering chats, questions. So if you've got something that you just happen to want to find out or have a question about, feel free. On any of the three platforms, we'll be responding to your questions live.
Yep.
And if you happen to be on Amazon, you get the benefit of watching the products right below me and seeing those through a carousel. So you can very easily check those products out, click on it, and Amazon will go ahead and ship those to you right away.
And don't forget, we also have a product giveaway today.
We sure do. Do we have a slide for that, Ori? And our third person who is not visible to the camera, but doing a fabulous job in the cloud, so to speak, Ori Gallardo.
All right, excellent. So I am highlighting the product
Okay.
down below on our carousel through Amazon. This is our product giveaway today. It's been a very popular unit that we've been selling quite a bit of these days. This is a product from EPOS, formerly Sennheiser, and this is the SP30T speakerphone product, valued at $249. So this is our
Right.
product giveaway.
So go ahead and send us where you're tuning in from today. Whether you're around the corner, I'm just in the metro area of the Washington D.C. metro. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We'd love to give you a shout out as well as recognize you on air today. All
Yep.
right. You want to say something, Dave?
No, I'd like to know where people are calling from. I'd like to see if we have folks around the country, maybe around the world.
Oh, and right. And if you see me looking off to my right, it's I'm looking at the chats as well, seeing the questions come in. I see we've got several questions already coming in through some of the other streams that we've got going on. So keep those questions coming. We'll go ahead and answer those as we roll through the show. So what's that? Let's roll with the trivia. Go for it. So we've got the trivia question for the first one, actually, because we're going to break this up into 2 hours. I should tell our audience we're going to, in our first segment, we're going to tackle headsets, headphones, and usage in the office. Which ones would make great gifts during this period here, kind of in the holiday mode, or even gifts beyond the holiday. And we'll also address gaming and how some of these headsets can be used for gaming. Because quite frankly, Dave, if you're like me and you and probably millions of others that are watching or are out there working from home, they're probably doing some work and then probably doing some gaming.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
And it's a good excuse to spend a couple extra bucks on a nice piece of commercial equipment that's going to
Right.
help you through your business day and make you be a better gamer as well.
For sure. And if I reverse the clock to my younger years, I can remember being on the Nintendo, PlayStation for forever, hours and hours at a time, and we've come very far from Atari
Certainly
and
have.
all that kind of stuff. So gaming online and using the equipment that's available now should really help those folks that want to game and maybe stay connected to their mobile phone. So we'll get to that later. And then in the second hour, we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the speakerphones. A lot of folks that are on Zoom and other platforms that may be less apt to use headsets, whether you're using like this Plantronics one that I've got on my head or the Jabra that Dave's got on his head.
Yep.
They rather have a little device where they're listening to a lecture or on Zoom listening to people.
Yeah, so you can be hands-free and have something hairdo friendly. So
That's right. That's right.
that's where a speakerphone is certainly something that can come in handy there.
That's what we get. So let's jump to the trivia question. Okay. Which headset manufacturers are certified for Microsoft Teams usage? Stay tuned. We'll reveal the answer later in the hour. All right. So let's jump into the products. And what I'd like to do is go ahead and let's go into the Plantronics 5200. This is by far one of our most popular products online. It's not a new one. So Plantronics released this product several years ago, but it continues to get great reviews. A lot more people now that are working from home need a multi-use type of wireless headset. This is a Bluetooth wireless headset that allows you to easily use it with your cell phone. It allows you to easily use it with your computer. And I'm going to be throwing this in our little close-up cam in a little bit, but what we're taking a look at is the 5200. So if you're looking at this on Amazon Live, you'll see the product as well in the carousel, and it will include a bonus charger. So let me talk a little bit about that, because this is something that doesn't normally get shipped by Plantronics. So Plantronics will ship you the headset, the Bluetooth dongle you're looking at, and the charging case that you're looking at, along with a short USB cable. And that additional bonus item that we've concluded in this kit is the wall charger. And if you're like me and probably others, you probably want to charge it, or your USB ports are all covered. I know I've got a laptop and I've got even a hub connected to it. So practically all my USB ports are covered for charging purposes. So a charger is really handy for that. You've got all your USB ports covered, or maybe you're traveling and you don't want to plug it up to your computer. You just want to let it charge through the wall. You're all set to go with that. So that's included in the box when you get that on this listing that we're showing here. Another cool thing about this, it is really small and lightweight. So what I'm going to do is, Ori, I'm going to move over to Cam 2 in a second. And I'm gonna, you know what? Let me just leave this in the box so the people can see what this looks like in the box. And while I'm doing that, let me roll this over to Dave so I can slide over to the close-up cam. And Dave, you can go ahead and let folks know what we got here on this listing.
Absolutely. So the 5200 from Plantronics, I'll tell you, it's the wearing style. A lot of people are attracted to that wearing style. So, or if you pull up the listing here, so this is actually called a behind the ear wearing style. So there's nothing over your head. It's very sleek and compact. The product does have, it includes multiple size ear gels because frankly, we're all a little bit different. It does have superb noise cancellation. It has this nice charging case. The charging case is nice because it does allow you to give the headset some additional juice when you're not in the office. So if you're mobile, you're traveling, whatever it might be, you can have this in your laptop bag, holding a charge, or in your pocket, whatever it might be. So it's kind of like that extra backup. We did a demo that we're going to be playing here in a little while. Did some real world noise canceling demonstration. We were testing it ourselves. You know, they give it a very high rating. I was a little skeptical because I've used other smaller, sleek products in the past, and while they've always looked really nice, they didn't always perform up to snuff. But you'll see from the demos that we did here, this thing did a phenomenal job. So we have this in the listing. I'm highlighting it right now. This is our bundle with that extra charger. We have it for just under $195. And again, these are multi-use headsets. So it is something that's going to work during your workday. You can pair it up to multiple Bluetooth devices. So if you're using a laptop and you're doing calls on Zoom, whatever kind of video calls you're doing, you can connect there. When you're on the go, it'll pair up with your cell phone. And it makes a really nice productivity tool.
And I got to tell you, the ear hook design on this is the best that I've ever seen on
Yeah.
any wireless headset.
Yeah, there it is.
You can very easily, and go back to that shot with the guy touching the controls. There,
Yeah.
one, it slides on very easily. Two, it's extremely comfortable. Now, I must say that for folks that are not, and let's say they don't really like stuff in their ear, this does have a little bud. So it's going to stick a little bit in the ear, as opposed to just laying around you and sticking on the outside of your ear. But that bud helps funnel the audio right into your ear. The other thing for me is I have a small ear. So have someone small ears that for 20 years I've been selling headsets. I find that most over the ear products just simply are too hard or too heavy or quite frankly too big, and I can't hang with them. This is the one product. If somebody called this in today and they talk to me or talk to Dave, I hope Dave maybe will recommend this on the customer service side, because I certainly recommend this product. And I think that if we go even if you pull back to the reviews, Ori, for a second on the product page, you'll see that the customers are also pretty much saying the same thing. They give it a very high rating. Yeah, how are we rated on this one? Can you go scroll up to the top? Ori, there we go. 4.3 out of 5. So customers are saying loud and clear they prefer this, or they really like the headset. So hats off to Plantronics, which is now Poly, by the way. But maybe Dave, we should explain to folks what's happening with the products from Plantronics with the Poly name, so that if you get a box that now says Poly, people know what that is.
Yep. So the brand Polycom and the brand Plantronics have joined forces and come together. They now do call themselves Poly. But if you're online and if you're searching for any resources, support, manuals, whatever it might be, product information, I do believe that plantronics.com is still an open website. It might redirect you, but yeah. So now they are called Poly.
All right. Yes, that's important to know. A lot of these headset companies have been changing their names recently, and customers don't know why they're getting a box that says Poly versus Plantronics. Some think maybe we were sending them a cheap knockoff, but that's not the case. You're getting an original item direct from the factory. So, Ori, let's jump over to the close cam so that we can show folks what this looks like when they get it out of the box. All right, I'm going to roll over here. And so if you get... I'm going to move my mic over here. So just bear with me for a second. So what you're getting here is just a standard brown box. Okay. And it says PLT on the side. Now that may change. It may say Plantronics, but I believe that's their ticker symbol on the stock exchange. So they may just keep that. So in the box, you're going to get this like this. And I'm just going to move that out of the way. You're going to get a card with a manual, a kind of like a guide of sorts. All right. You also get on the back, on the reverse side, you're going to get some more instructions on what to do with it. It's really simple. And you're going to get the case, right? It's a case, you see it's very slim. For those that need a little bit more field of measurement, you can see that it's just slightly over 4 inches. So you're going to get a very small case in the box that you could just take with you on the go. Now, I'm just going to flip it open. And you see there is the item, the headset. And something to note that we do tend to get calls over quite a bit is that people ask, where is the USB dongle in here? I don't see it. So what Plantronics has done is tucked it away. Let me see if and I'm going to take the headset out of the case for just a second so you can see that. In here, if you see this little protrusion here, there's the USB dongle, and I'm just going to remove it from there, and you can see there it is, your USB dongle. Okay, and there's 2 ways to charge it. Actually, you can charge this particular headset in 3 ways. You can stick it right into the charger. As you see, let's see if those lights flash. They turn blue, and you could see right there, those blue lights indicate that it's charging. The other way is you could leave it in the charger, and when you drop it in, it will do the same thing. The third way is you've got let's see if I can show it to you here. You've got a USB port, a mini USB port here on the bottom to charge it as well. So those three ways. You can charge it directly with the charging cable that's included. And by the way, it's a really short charging cable. So if you're somebody that wants to actually charge it with a charging cable, I would advise you to get you a much longer charging cable because it's probably only 6 to 8 inches long. So you don't get a lot of length on that charging cable. So that's the 5200. It's a really good headset. It's a very lightweight headset. I'm going to slide back over into position here so I can see what Dave is doing. Keep an eye on him.
Yeah, you know what? I really like how the headset can charge without that charging base / case, because sometimes you leave something in your office and you've left for the weekend or vice versa. As long as you have a cable, you'll be sure to have a charge for the product. So that was smart of them to do.
Yeah, I agree. And the other thing with this, and Ori, if you could put up the listing again for those folks that want to use this now with work purposes, it does come with several benefits, and we're going to get to the product demonstration here soon. But I want to point out a few things. So if you're using apps like Ring Central, like we highlight here, or Teams, you do have the ability to integrate the control functions with the hardware. So you'll need to download the PC app if you're using the PC of Ring Central, and you'll be able to answer and disconnect directly from the headset, which is a great thing to do, especially if you're on calls all day long. So if you're a Ring Central user, and there's got several other apps that are available that are integrated, we can make that available to you. And if you have questions about something that is not on there, or a particular application you're trying to use, feel free to give us a shout on this chat, or even afterwards. We'll be glad to answer your questions on that. So there are many more apps that are integrated, and some of them are just not listed on the listing itself. So why don't we do this? Let's go over to Dave or Ori. Let's go to the product demonstration. Let's cue that up. So let me tell you what you're going to be looking at here. And if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's the 5200 demo we did with the blender. Is that all right, Ori? Okay, great. So a while back ago, we did a real live strenuous test. So if you happen to have headphones on, go get those. I'll give you a few seconds. Put those on, plug them in. You're going to really get the benefit of getting the difference between the audio with the headsets and the noise canceling of the microphone versus just raw audio coming through, background noise. So you can really tell the difference between the two. But even if you don't, you're still going to hear the difference between the two. So go ahead and roll it, Ori. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a test using the 5200 UC headset from Plantronics. And in this video, what we're going to do is use this blender as my background noise. Now, if you work from home, you probably are going to get up out of your desk, you're going to move around, and you're going to go in and go to the kitchen, and you're going to make some tasty, yummy, sometimes cocktail, and maybe a smoothie. So we'll let this Vitamix run in the background while I talk to see if we're actually filtering out some of that background noise. So here we go. Let's give that a try. I'm going to start it on a low speed and increase it and kick it up to a little bit higher, high noise level. So here we go. So I'm going to start talking through this and seeing if you can still hear my voice. Now, if this is a really hard day, you probably put in this nice stiff cocktail. Help me knock out some of the cobwebs and bad memories from the day. And hopefully by the end, I have a nice tasty margarita or something along those lines to help me ease the pain of the day. So let's see, start cranking this up in the volume. So if I keep talking, you can still see it playing in the background there.
got the headset on, and hopefully you're hearing more of my voice than the actual blender. All right, let's crank it up a little bit more to see if we've got some serious volume coming in through here. All right, that should be good enough. Let's bring that back down. All right, and let's see what this does on the playback.
Wow.
Wow.
It really did a remarkable job.
Well, you grab a blender, you throw it on, and hope for the best, right?
I can
And
only imagine, when folks are using a tool like this, it's somewhat invisible to the folks that you're talking to on the other end. They don't realize that you're using a headset, which is probably exactly what we want to provide, is that user experience.
well, totally. Well, when you have a call coming through, and especially if you're watching us and you're doing any kind of business, whether it's from home, you're in the car, you're traveling, the last thing, and you happen to be on a call, somebody calls you, or even worse, you happen to get on a conference call or a Zoom call. The worst thing you have is when you have several participants, and one of those, you hear everything in the room
Mm-hmm.
or the car noise, and it's so distracting. And it's so distracting to everybody else. So from a productivity standpoint, it really decreases everybody's productivity and their efficiency.
Yeah,
Right? And you've
absolutely.
been on a call like that. I know I've been on calls like that.
Yeah, yeah. And if you're having people if you have to repeat yourself, or if people on the other end of the line have to repeat themselves, you're taking away from other parts of the meeting uh, that need to get work done and work through. So yeah, so the less time, the better you can understand people, the better the meeting, the better the whole experience, and that's what this product's delivering.
I mean, it's phenomenal that way. So that it's multi-purpose. It's you could use a PC. We talked about mobile, and that test was done on a mobile phone. And I never walked away from the blender. And if you walk away from the blender, you probably would have heard less noise, but it still did a great job at blocking that noise out, from the standpoint of just knowing what the heck that was. So you had the visual there of the blender, but if you were listening to it, you couldn't have known what that was when the audio was coming through the headset.
Exactly. Yeah, and you know what? It's a relatively inexpensive investment that's going to make your life much easier.
Oh, you're right. You're right. And what I do see here, Dave, is we have a question about the 5200. Ori, you want to cue that up? So, if I'm using Skype for business in a laptop with Bluetooth enabled, do I still need the dongle? It's a good one.
That's
It's
a
a good
very
one.
good question.
You want to start with that one, Dave, and
Yeah,
I could fill in.
yeah, absolutely. So, I was glad that you did that unboxing video there. That dongle, it is nestled in that box. It is very, very small. Like a lot of technology, everything is becoming smaller, but it's such an important, vital piece. So to answer the question, yes, you do need that dongle, even if your laptop is Bluetooth enabled. A lot of laptops today that use Bluetooth, it's more for signaling. So it's for things like wireless mice, wireless keyboard, maybe a wireless printer. So it's data, but really doesn't do a wonderful job with voice. So when you have that dongle, the dongle supports the full duplex audio, and that's really how you're going to get that really good experience with the product. So, rule of thumb: you have Bluetooth on your laptop, that's great. Use it for your mice, use it for your keyboard. Always make sure that you're using a dongle if you want the best audio experience with the Plantronics 5200.
So what you're saying, Dave, is that we're the man, really not us, but the manufacturers are not trying to rip people off or find a way to get them to just buy an additional piece of hardware that they don't need.
Mm, yeah, exactly. Yeah, they do need it.
And what I've found in my research of this topic is that the reason the dongle also plays an important role is that every manufacturer, now we're talking now just PCs and laptops, and as well as Macs, because we use Macs here, and I've used the dongles on that as well. Notice the
Yeah.
same thing. When you use a dongle, it essentially dedicates the audio path in both directions for that headset or speakerphone, which we'll get to later in our second segment. Whereas if you're using Bluetooth that's natively built into that laptop or PC, what you're going to get is whatever best effort is in there in terms of hardware implementation, software implementation, location of the Bluetooth antenna. And many people just call us saying, hey, just this is not working. Why am I not able to connect? My latest MacBook is got the latest firmware, the latest everything, and it's not working. And it simply comes down to that the manufacturers when it comes to audio over Bluetooth and using headsets, it's not the primary driver for why they design and build these laptops and PCs. It's there, it's a feature, but it's not the primary reason they're building these laptops and PCs. So sometimes the Bluetooth capability gets sacrificed. And although everybody thinks Bluetooth may be universal, it's not in terms of the implementation. It's certainly not in terms of all the hardware used. And so you're going to get wild fluctuations from the MacBook to Toshiba to Lenovo, all across the board. Even different versions of Windows, you'll get a little bit different result. So I just want to provide a little bit of more color in case you're a little bit of a nerd like myself and you wanted to know why, besides just the fact that it's recommended by the manufacturer.
Excellent.
So
yeah, so don't lose it.
Don't. we get customers that end up buying several because sometimes they tend to have them in the bag in the car, or if they're traveling or at home. So definitely, I want to go ahead and remind folks again, if you're watching us on Amazon Live, you have the opportunity to go ahead and check out this product today. Hey, Ori, can you see we still have those in stock? Go back to the product listing. I know what that's been moving pretty fast here over the morning. Just want to check that we still have those available. Does it say? Yes, it does. It still says in stock. So we still have more units left as of today. By the way, on this particular item, it's Plantronics Poly, one of their best items. And when they're gone, they tend to be gone for several weeks at a time, 6, 8 weeks. Sometimes we've seen 12 weeks by the time they run out, and then they get more in stock. So we've got some in here. Don't hesitate if you're watching us live to go ahead and check that out today. All right. So let's move into our other product. Or did we exhaust this topic on the 5200, Dave?
Yeah,
Was there anything else you wanted to add?
No, let's move on. They'll probably be sold out by the time we're on to the next product.
Okay. So let's go over to the Blueparrott line of products. Blueparrott. What could we say about Blueparrott? We can say a lot about Blueparrott. We can spend the whole hour just talking about this. Now, we're going to transition from a product that is small, it's lightweight, it's versatile, to a product that's really built for the person that needs the most clear audio when you're talking to somebody in environments that are high noise. So, for example, if you travel a lot, you're in the car a lot, you work at a place where there's a lot of noise around you, a warehouse, maybe a dispatch location, maybe you have at home, you do have a noisy environment, and your primary mode of communication is your mobile phone, I highly recommend the Blueparrott. I have one that I take with me on the road. I'm just going to show you here. I've got the 550, which is what we were highlighting at the bottom. The 550 is a great headset. Oh, and I took the cushion off because I was doing some playing around with it. I tend to, open things and break things in our. And Ori, are we showing the dunk test on this one, or are we showing the blender test, or both? Oh, okay. Perfect. All right. So we do have those. Okay, great. We're going to get to those. Are both a treat. So the Blueparrott line, the entire line, the 250, 350, 450, 550, all of it has tremendous noise canceling. And let me just clarify what type of noise canceling, because some folks think this is a Bose noise canceling where it's canceling out like what I've got on. It's blocking out the environment, so I can't really hear. What I'm talking about specifically is the noise canceling on a microphone. the microphone, not only is it waterproof, but the microphone will filter out, I believe it's rated over 96% of background noise. And in the demo you're going to see here in a little bit, we will show you exactly what that means. So if you're standing next to a blender, which I will do in this next demo, you will see how much of your voice comes through versus the blender noise. Now, Dave, do you remember, I don't know, maybe like 2 years ago when the 550 came out? No, it was the 450. I'd called you from home and I said, hey, do you hear that noise? And you said, what, you remember what you said to me?
I think we do that quite often when we're testing different products, but I believe you were outside. I heard nothing. You had to tell me that you were outside. You had
And
to
then I
tell
came
me
in.
what was going on.
And I remember I came in, I was making a smoothie.
It was the
And
blender.
I asked you again, don't you hear that? And you
Yeah,
said,
and I said,
no, I don't hear anything. I hear a little something, but I don't know what it is. And not that time I was sold. I was like, done.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is some good stuff. And
Well, I did
that's
a
the clean
similar.
version.
Now I did a similar test with you. It was spring had just arrived here in New England. My 13-year-old was outside and he was trying to start the lawnmower for the first time of the season. So we needed Dad's muscle
Hey,
to
by the
go out
way, when
there.
does spring start in New England?
Ooh,
In
it's so
June?
far away, we're not even remembering. Yeah, that's quite a ways away. But I did hear that it is snowing in Cincinnati, Ohio. We have Zach G sent us a quick message there on Amazon, and
Awesome,
so I
Zach.
guess
Thanks for tuning in. Shout out to Zach. Whoop, whoop.
Ohio's getting a little bit of snow right now. But within that test, I believe I had either a B350 or a B450. And what's important for the viewers to know is that the Blueparrott products, they all have superior noise cancellation, and it really depends on your budget. So the 250 starts at about $99, then you can max up out to the B550 that we're highlighting below. We have a bundle there for about $225. But
Yes.
regardless if you buy the 550 or the entry level 250, you'll get the same experience with the microphone. But Rolando, that time I was helping my son, I had very little experience with the Blueparrott products. I went outside, I helped him start the lawnmower. Now, for the record, the lawnmower was 8 years old at the time.
Real old
Certainly,
clunkety one.
certainly not quiet. And I finally got it started, and I was standing behind it with it running. And I asked you, I said, "You do hear what's going on right now, right?" And you said, it sounded like something happened, but I don't hear it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it took for me to just really believe in this particular product. And then I was able to confidently use the product if I was grabbing some ice or using the microwave or yelling at my dog or whatever it could be, confident that it wasn't all going to the person on the other end of the line.
So what I hear you saying, if is you want to work outside and not be really doing work while you're getting calls or you're on a Zoom call or whatever, you can do your stuff outside without anybody really knowing that you're outside, you've got wind, or you're mowing your lawn in your case, right? Or playing with your dog.
Yeah, and you know what? It's okay that we're all multitasking these days, but you know what? If you're on a phone call with a couple of people, if one person's microphone is bleeding into the conversation, you're ruining the experience for everyone on the call. So with a product like the Blueparrotts, you can just be confident that you're not disrupting everyone that's trying to be a part of that meeting.
I want to show the folks what the 550 comes in a package like this. Right, this is the box.
Yeah,
that it comes in. Just a white box. Now, the reason I'm not doing the close-up cam is that I'm just getting some echo. I don't know if you heard that, Dave, through there, but I'm just going to go to this cam, and in there in the box you're going to have your 550. You have a really nice ear cushion. I'm just going to bend this. As you can see, this is another feature of the 550. These are made to be really used. This is not the pretty boy headset that I just was showing you, like the 5200, right? You really have two different styles, and I've used them both. So here's your 550. This is for your person, whether you're a guy or a girl, it doesn't really matter. You want something that's not going to break the moment you drop it. And I think I may have done this in the past, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop it. I'm going to stand up, actually. I'm going to stand up, drop it. Now, we don't have the benefit of super slow-mo, but you see, nothing broke. Nothing fell off of it. The ear cushion is still on there. The speaker is still on there. So that's not something you probably want to do with any old headset. And you could repeatedly drop it for quite a bit because it's IP54, right? I think it's 54, Dave. It's
Sounds about right.
Some waterproofing and some other things. But what you get is a very large speaker. And if you're in an environment like you're mowing the lawn, you probably are going to get a lot of noise around you that may make it difficult for you to hear your conversation. But this 550 offers a lot of volume in the ear compared to, say, the 5200, which we were just talking about. And this is still a good headset, but this headset is not the one you want to be mowing the lawn with, right? You don't want to mow the lawn with this guy. You want to maybe go out on the town, if you're still able to. I know a lot of folks can't really go anywhere right now, but if you do, that's the one you want to use rather than this. And this is not a fashion statement. This guy won't win any fashion awards, but it will do the job. And another thing I want to show here is this headband. The headband is very flexible, and you can't really do this with a lot of the other headbands on the market because it'll just snap. This one will not. Now, just so you see, both of my arms are separated. Here's the speaker. Here's the other side. And still comes right back.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's hard to destroy. Now, you could run it over with a truck. That probably will destroy it. But short of something crazy like that, it's going to last you quite a while. The other thing on this is the talk time. Ridiculous. It is an all-day product. So if you're talking all day long, or maybe you're not talking all day long, but you're intermittently talking through the day, go ahead and get a close up on this. So if you are talking through the day, the last thing you want is to have your battery go down on you. And I think this one's rated at 24 hours. Is that right, Dave?
Yeah, I think it's about 20. Yeah, I think it's about 24 hours of talk time. I know it has a few days of standby time.
Ridiculous, a ridiculous amount of talk time. So you go all day before you may not even need to charge it every day. Now, most other Bluetooth headsets, you probably will need to take it in the travel charger, like the case of 5200, if you're using it all day, or other headsets that simply just won't get you all day talk time. And there we go. I'm glad you put that up there. Thank you. Or yeah, let that roll so we can show that to the folks. It's also voice controlled, so you can talk right to your phone with your Apple Siri or Google Android, and it will know and recognize that you're talking into it. It also has an app that comes with it. It's a free app by Blueparrott that allows you to customize it even further. So the Blueparrott button there, and I'll show it at the end of it so that we're not so distracted. There you go. You can see how big that speaker is. It's great for the airport. I know that when I go through the airport and it's ultra noisy, there's no way anybody knows I'm at the airport. And I can hear people. And quite frankly, those are my two go-to headsets. There's the app and the Blueparrott button, which you can customize, by the way. And there aren't a ton of people doing push to talk anymore. But if that's the kind of thing you're into, it's a lot of more in the government space, construction workers, and people in dispatch. This is the type of headset you want. You want this headset because it also has a program that allows you to do push to talk that's in the built-in app. So another bonus with the Blueparrott 550. So
that's nice. And Rolando, before you go along, there's another feature on the Blueparrott line that we haven't spoke about. A lot of the folks that are buying these aren't necessarily office workers. We do a lot of business with drivers, and the question that folks ask us is about like GPS cues. So a lot of folks are using their smartphones with their GPS, or even just a GPS that's built into a vehicle. But the product supports a standard. It's called A2DP. But what it does is it allows streaming, like a GPS that would be talking to you. Turn left, turn right. So that's something that a lot of the drivers like to have. And because it also supports A2DP, while you're not using it for telephone calls, if you're streaming any other type of audio, a podcast, music, whatever it might be, these headsets do also support that. So A2DP, this is a standard. It's not going to be a quiz question today, but that's something that look within your technical specifications of any of the headsets that we sell. A2DP, that means that the product can stream mobile and what am I looking for? Just stream the audio to your headset. Not every headset can do that.
That's correct, and it does it pretty well. I've been on the road with those headsets driving, and I love getting the instructions there, not distracted, and if I happen to get a call, boom, they're talking to me, and without all the road noise. Actually, we should do. I know we have somewhere away in our archive. We have a road noise test. We got to update that and do a new one. And bring that out because those are the type of things people like to see it. So let's roll to that. Let's transition over to the product demo. Let's do the Ori. Let's go to the blender test. People like that.
So in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to test out a blender as background noise using our Blueparrott B550 XT headset. Now, what should happen is that with this microphone, you should be able to hear more of my voice than the blender.
So I'm going to try to talk through this really noisy blender, and at the same time, we're going to roll footage with a separate camera that's actually going to capture audio without the microphone. So we'll toggle back and forth so you can see what that sounds like, and in real time. So
here we go. We'll turn this on. Give that a whirl, and then we're going to crank it up into a higher speeds, and we'll start off low. Here we go. All right.
As you can see, I've got the blender going right now. I'm going to crank it up. I'm going to crank it up some more.
I'm going to keep talking through this blender here, and I'm going to take it up so you can see. I am already cranking it. It's on setting number 3, taking it up to number 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, you probably won't do this while you're conversing, but if you really are one of those people that you got to take your stiff drink during the middle of the day, or maybe you have to calm down at the end of the day after a really long day, instead of water, which is what I've got in this blender, probably your favorite cocktail thrown in instead of all water. Okay, so I'm going to try to take it up to the highest setting. So hopefully you're hearing more of my voice than this blender, and we'll see what it sounds like on the playback.
Yeah, and a great demo.
I love this test. I call it the truth test. There's no faking it. It either works or it doesn't, right?
That's right. Or I would call it the lie test, where you don't have to tell anyone that you're talking to that you are using the blender or whatever it might be.
And this is what you're paying for when you get the Blueparrott. You're getting that technology built in, that microphone technology that Blueparrott's known for, which you're probably not going to find in any other product. And now there are cheaper headsets out there, but if you are really looking to have a way to distinguish yourself, I know our motto is sound better, sell more. So if you want to sell more and you're in somebody where you're selling yourself or you're selling your company or selling a service or whatever, you really just step up to the investment. It's totally worth it. It's going to last, and it's also going to make you sound better versus something that's a lot cheaper where you're not going to be as happy down the road. It may break a little more, or or those people that you're talking to are not as happy with the way you sound when you talk to them. So it's really worth stepping up to. Now, as we talked about earlier, the Blueparrott comes from it starts at $99 and works all the way up to around $200. So they have different price points. When you're talking the B550, their entry level model, it's a really stripped down version of that. It's a much smaller. And if you could cue that up, Ori, the B550 landing page. The B550 is going to be more simple, straightforward design. We have it in several variations with bonus windscreens, which, by the way, in our current situation, you definitely want to have some spare windscreens in the box so that if you need to switch things out, you're not stuck with one windscreen. You've got several. And we also have, and we're going to highlight a little bit later, and it's in our carousel, we have a 10-pack that we offer. So if you want to have these for coworkers or for yourself, you want to keep some extra ones around the car or at home, you have some spare windscreens so you can change them out and not worrying about your debris getting on the microphone and clogging it up. So go back to the 2250 product stream for product page for a moment. Ori, there we go. I want to point out that something there's two things, actually three things that you should know about the B550 versus the 550 or the 450. So you're still going to get a really long battery talk time on this. This is the original Blueparrott headset that really was a game changer for Blueparrott. So it's still their legacy product that they're still selling, but it's still very good because of the price that you're getting in at. You don't have a Blueparrott button like you do have on the 450 or the 550 or even the 350. So you can't program it like you would on the 350, 450, and the 550. And the noise canceling is a little lower, but not a lot. I think it's in the 80s, 86 or 85%. I can't remember. I can't really see the listing from here. My eyes are straining a little bit to see it, but it's in the 80s, but it's still far superior over most other Bluetooth headsets.
Yeah, without a doubt. And you know what? At $99, it's a smart investment. I think some of the folks that are buying this, maybe they're new to headsets, so they're still trying to get their feet wet. And the product is, again, it's super durable, and being a commercial or a higher end solution, it also carries a warranty from Blueparrott for 1 year. So we're highlighting that for about $99. And for the folks, and Rolando, you had already kind of mentioned this, I just want to highlight it down below. So sometimes, you know what, these headsets live for a very long time, but sometimes it's nice to give that like a refresh to it. So we do have the windscreens, as you had mentioned. I'm also just going to throw up here for folks that might already have Blueparrotts.
You can. I believe we have that in our sheet.
Yep.
Ori, the B550 cushion kit. You can highlight that on the product page.
So we have the cushion kit, and we have these refresher kits for all of the series headsets that we have. All right, so that one's for the 250, but we also have the 350, the 450, and the 550.
And since parts. March, really, when things got really nutty, we've been selling a lot more of these refresher kits, and simply because people are just more aware that they need to take a little bit more precaution or be more hygienic with their equipment, and refresh their cushions, their windscreens, their earpieces. And we've actually run out a few times because the demand has been very high on the refresher kits. I would say it's been as strong, or if not stronger, than the headsets themselves.
Yeah. And that, you know what, that speaks a lot to the product itself, the headset. And pretty inexpensive way to just keep it fresh, keep it updated.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you get stuff in the ear cushion. Maybe if you're wearing makeup, sometimes it gets all in the actually the spongy part, and it just gets gooky over time. And so a simple refresher kit really fixes that up for you.
Yeah, and not a lot of folks are selling these. You know, this is kind of a global tech worldwide special product that we're offering here. We knew that there was a demand, so we've brought it to the people.
Yeah, and we'll keep on selling them as people want them. So, Dave, was anything else on the Blueparrott side? I think we almost forgot. The dunk test. Or you can't let me go on to move on to another segment without showing the dunk test. Come on now. So you're in for another treat here. So here's what we got. We took the 550, which is the one that's right here. And actually, no, it's not that one. It's the one that I took the cushion off of, because that's the exact one we did the test with.
All right.
And I did that, and I totally remember just now. I did that to make sure I knew which one was which. This still works. You'll be surprised what you see when you see this dunk test.
We're going to take this bad boy that I'm wearing, and I'm going to put it right into this guy right here. So here we go.
All right. Whoa. So the microphone volume seems a little bit low. It might just be because it's damp.
Yeah, it's still damp, but it's still working.
Can they wear it in the shower? So who knows?
No, I would say it worked in the shower. I don't know. I don't want to put anybody at risk if you don't need to, but it should. The other thing that we didn't do, and I don't happen to have, is a freezer test. A lot of folks that are using this in a cold environment, this microphone is rated to go into very cold environments and still work, as well as the water test that we did with dunking it. So I don't know. Showers, you're kind of on your own. I haven't tried it, so I can't give it my blessing at this point.
Love it.
Good
Love
test.
it. And it still works, because I've used it a few times as well. So
Right.
the waterproofing on this is legit. And that's the thing. That's all we need to find out. Is it legit? It was legit on the noise canceling test for the microphone. It's a legit waterproof product. The components are still working. They worked right there. I think that conversation was cut short because we had probably like a 10-minute conversation during that test that we ran. And I could still hear you. You guys were hearing me. And so the product is what it is. It's a waterproofed Bluetooth headset that's built to last.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All
No, I was just going to say, all joking aside, about the water and the shower, people do leave their office. People do need to bring their dog outside. And you know what, if it's raining or something like that, again, it's just that confidence. It's knowing that the investment that you made is okay with the environment that you're about to go walk into. It'd be a shame to break a valuable piece of technology because you had to run outside real fast and it got a little bit wet. But as this demo showed, it can handle more than just a little bit of dampness. So good job on that demo, Rolando.
Oh, thank you. So we have another question that came in for this product. And I think we have it up. Oh, yeah, there we go. The question, can you mute from the headset? Or do you have to push mute from your phone? It's a good one. All right.
That was a good one.
It's a good one. So, you don't lose any capability on your mobile phone today. So if you want to use the mute on your mobile phone, you can still do that.
Yep.
Now, the 550, 450, 350, so those three, 350, 450, 550, and they do have some other ones, the C400 and the C300. All of those models that I just mentioned, you can mute from the headset and program which button activates the mute. The only one that does not allow you to program the button to mute is the B250, but you can mute. It has a button for mute, so you can mute yourself on the B250 as well. So from that standpoint, you don't lose any functionality on your phone. So if you want to mute yourself on your phone, you could always do that. If you want to mute on the headset, you can do that. Now, on my B550, here's the button. this little one right here, the one at the top that's got a little caricature on it, a little bird. Let's see if I can get that in the shot. There we go.
There it is.
That button is my mute button. Now that button, you can also program it to launch an app. And again, you do this all within the Blueparrott app. The Blueparrott app allows you to go ahead and decide what functionality you want, how you want it, what you want it to do. All right. So great question. Great question. All right. Now, as we move on to the next segment, we're going to talk about headsets that can function as a headset that you use for work in your home office, remote working, or other situations. And also, I got to admit, I'm not of the younger generation of the kids. I'll call them kids today. And we have somebody on our team who heads up our logistics operations. She came across one of the headsets, the Evolve 2, that she started using. And apparently she says, well, you could use this for gaming. And I said, really? And I said, go ahead and test that out and find out what does it work or not? Because the headsets that we're going to be highlighting here, the Jabra Evolve 2, they're not really sold that way. They're not really promoted that way. But that doesn't mean you can't use them that way. It's just that the manufacturer doesn't really promote that as a way of using that particular headset. And let me tell you why you would want to have a headset that could do PC mode essentially, and phone mode. So if you're somebody, you've got your phone and you're getting calls throughout the day, and maybe you're gaming at night or in the morning, wherever, you don't want to have to stop. And so the Evolve 2 line, so the Evolve 2 65 and the 85, both of those headsets support multiple connectivity points. So on the one end, you want to connect your Bluetooth. On the other end, you can connect your gaming console. And I believe I believe she was using the PS4. Couple of important things to note about that before we go into showing you everything, because I want to make sure that I specifically point this out. As she's mentioned to me, you need to mention a couple of things about that. You want to use, back again to our earlier discussion about dongles, you want to use actually that was the Plantronics dongle. Let me get the Jabra one. You want to put the Jabra dongle into the gaming console. Now, the gaming console does have Bluetooth. And this is another situation where the native Bluetooth did not work well. So your Bluetooth console, again, may work Bluetooth for other purposes, but as it relates to the Jabra Evolve 2, the dongle is what you'll need in order to make that work. There was one other thing that I'm looking at the notes that were giving to me. So if you just excuse me while I'm looking at them. When you have your phone connected both to your console on one end and your mobile phone on the other, on your mobile phone, you'll want to set the settings for that Bluetooth connection and go into it and disable the media connection. The media connection is what streams audio from apps. And what you want is that your headset stream the audio from essentially your PS4, your gaming console, to your headset versus your phone. Okay. And that will allow the calls to seamlessly go back and forth. So as a call comes in, the headset will essentially pause the audio coming in from the gaming console, and now it will start receiving audio from your mobile phone. Really cool. Really, really cool. So if you're a gamer or a part-time gamer or a casual gamer and you want to be able to keep gaming without having to stop completely, grab your phone and hold it to your head and do all of that business, forget all that. Just get a headset that does it right.
And it's nice that someone out there can buy a product like this and not have a secondary headset for work and for gaming. And you know what? I think I used to talk about the kids with gaming. Someone threw a fact at me recently and they said, what do you think the average age of, today's big gamer is? And my answer of 18 and under was completely wrong. Gaming has become an adult, a very popular pastime with adults and children alike.
Well, think about it, Dave. You and we're almost the same age. So if we grew up with Nintendo, right?
Yep.
Or some other gamer, Sega, or even Atari, some of that tendency is not going to go away, right? Obviously, time and priorities dictate how much time you game, right? Instead of all day on Saturday or all day long. And yeah, hey, it's okay if you want to do that, but I don't have that kind of time. But doesn't mean I don't like to game. I mean, just
Sure.
game a lot less than when I was 15 and 16 or 12 or whatever, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so, Ori, what do we put up the Evolve 265 for the folks so they can see what we're talking about?
And I'm highlighting this on the carousel down below.
Awesome. So on the Evolve 265, we've got a headset that's very versatile. It can function as your primary business headset. It comes with a Bluetooth dongle, and I believe, yes, I do have one here that I can open right out of the box. Actually, no, I know what the deal was. I put a note on it myself. So this is what it looks like, Evolve 265. Okay. It comes in this nice, beautiful packaging. And something I did want to point out, this does tell you what version of the USB dongle you get. In this case, it's the USB-C. So they do come in USB-A and USB-C. Ori, why don't you throw it to the 5th image that's yellow so folks can see what we're talking about when we're talking about USB-A and USB-C. There we go. So USB-A is your more traditional USB dongle. The connectivity, the port. The newer standard is the USB-C, which is it's more oval, and Jabra supports both. You just need to know which one of the two you're buying, USB-A version or USB-C. And if you do happen to get the wrong version for whatever, it's not the end of the world. A simple converter, USB-C, USB-A, or vice versa, for about $5 on Amazon will do the trick.
Yeah. Now, the other thing that I like that Jabra's done with this particular product is that they do give some options. So the highlight that we were just showing there, that was their single or monaural version, single ear version of this headset. Down below on the carousel, I'm highlighting the binaural version or the stereo version. So that's for 2 ears. Both of these come in black, but we also have some listings that they are also available in beige. I guess they could call that a beige. So, everyone has their different preferences, and manufacturers like Jabra are trying really hard to attract folks by giving them the options there. So there you have it.
And this one, like the 5200, it does allow you to use this for all the different business applications. So I'm looking at here the long list, like Teams, Fuse, Ring Central, Skype for Business, Link, Dragon. So if you're doing dictation, Hangouts, Meet, we use a lot of Meet and Hangouts at here, and we know it works extremely well for that. And here we're showing the product marketing video, and thanks to the folks at Jabra for letting us use that video. So it's kind of like your everyday go-to headset, and this version is the stereo version, and they've got them in the mono as well as with the charging stand. So that's the other thing, the boom. Go back, Ori, can you roll back now by a few seconds right there? So one of the best features to be put on a headset is the ability to mute yourself while you're talking very easily. Most headsets on the market today make you push a button, just like the one I'm wearing. If I wanted to mute my audio, and in this case I have a microphone that's separate from it, I normally have to push a button to mute. This one is just a flip. As soon as you flip it down, audio is on. You flip it up, it's muted. And there's no confusion because you get inside the earpiece, it's telling you, hey, mute on, mute off, mute on, mute off. And it's so great. It's just because it keeps you in the mode of whatever you're doing without having to stop and maybe look for the mute button. I forgot it's over here, or reach, and then you just keep going. Flip, flip. It's very instinctual. That's the word I was looking for. So it's very easy to use that way, especially if you're someone that is going to be talking the majority of the day. You do get very good battery on this one, so that if you're using it all day long, and if you are, I would recommend maybe the version that comes with the charging stand. That way you just drop it in, and when you're not using it, it's charging. And that way you're definitely going to get all day. It's a ridiculously long battery talk time. Let me just check on that over here. Here we go. Is it on here? No. Oh, 35 hours. Whoosh. 35 hours. I don't know who's going to talk 35 hours. So that'll definitely take you all day. And it's got 3 built-in microphones. So it does a lot of listening in for what's around you in terms of audio, so that the person you're talking to is getting the clearest audio possible. So with 35 hours of talk time, you probably have enough battery to talk all day, game hours at a time, if that's what you'd like to do.
You know what I really like, I like the feedback that the product gives you as a user when you flip that microphone up. It tells you that you're muted. So as a user, you can feel confident that if you had to do something that could have been disruptive to the call, that won't pass through. But the other thing that they did that's really nice, Rolando, and you might be able to show this on yours, is that it has an online indicator built into the headset, actually multiple online indicators that are turning red in the front and red in the back, so that when you're on a phone call, maybe you're not maybe you're just listening, you're not talking, but if someone's in your work environment and they need to interact with you, when they see the red light, if you had explained what that meant when it was red, please don't disturb, someone won't necessarily tap on your shoulder to get your attention and disrupt you. So the feedback for the user is very nice, but also it's giving that feedback to the people around you, letting them know, excuse me, don't bother me, I'm busy.
Right. So in this version that I have it on, but it's not paired. When it's paired, you would see the light in the front as well as in the back. So if, like, I'm facing the camera right now, if I had it on and paired to my phone, you would see the red lights indicating that I'm on, essentially talking or on. And then if there was something behind me, maybe another person that's just trying to come up from behind, especially if you're in an office, more so in an office, but that tends to be the case. But sometimes you're working and your back is towards maybe the other way, but it just happens I'm towards the camera, and maybe the door's behind you, and people will walk in a room, and when they see those red indicator lights on the back, that lets them know, hey, you're on a call. Because that's the other thing, when you're wearing a headset, people don't know when you're on a call unless they obviously hear you talking. And sometimes you're on a call, but you may not be talking. You may be in listen mode, where you're on a Zoom call or a Teams or a chat or whatever, and people don't know that you're actually doing stuff. You just happen to have your headset on. So the indicator is a great way for folks to know that you don't need to be bothered. And that was another cool innovation they added with the Evolve 2.
And when you're wearing a wireless headset, sometimes you're walking into someone else's environment. So you're walking in, maybe you're not talking. If they try to get your attention and maybe they don't know what that light means, you can just quickly point to your headset, or you could quickly mute yourself and explain. But yeah, they've done a good job with the product here.
And Ori, go over to the 85. So the 65 is their mid-level Evolve 2. Now, it's probably also a good time to explain Evolve 2 versus the Evolve. Evolve 2 is a brand new line, a line extension that Jabra came out with this year. They have their Evolve, I'll call it the first generation, which is selling. It's one of our better sellers as well. And this is the follow-on to that. And in those models, the 65 and the 85, they added these improvements. And in the 40, so there's 3 models, 45, 65, and 85. Okay. And one of the things that we're going to highlight now is the 85, which is what we have on the screen. So the 85 steps up and does a lot. So I'm going to, we can go ahead and, go talk about it on here on this product listing. And it comes with a charger that you never have to like insert the entire product. Why is that important? So most traditional chargers or charging stands make you insert the product into a charger, into the actual USB port.
Yep.
You don't have to do that with this. And then one of the biggest complaints that customers have when using a product that requires charging is that it breaks. It won't charge anymore. And that's simply because the USB port on the headsets tend to be used as the charging port. In this case, with the 85, you have the option of getting this optional stand. And then we're highlighting it as a kit. So you get the stand and the 85. So you can charge it, just drop it on this charger, away you go. No need to worry about it. Now, it does come with a USB port, and it's a USB-C port, like an iPhone port. So you can charge it that way also. But if you're going to really use this quite a bit, I recommend the charging stand that comes with it. Now, this product, I believe, has also got a ridiculous amount of talk time. Let me pull it all on my end so that I can also see that a little bit better, because that's really tight on that shot there. And I've got it here in the case, and I wanted to show that to you. I'm also reminded that on the 85, Jabra has a product lineup that's a consumer version, and that is the Elite 85. Let me tell you what the difference is here, because this is also very important, because one of the things in conversing with the different manufacturers, when you have a line that's consumer versus, let's say, the professional line, in which this is, you have some differences that are not noticeable until you reveal things that are under the hood. And the 85 is certainly one of those products that they have a consumer version. What you get with essentially the professional, the office version, is to be able to use it on these apps. Now, could you try it again? As we talked earlier about Bluetooth, you can make it try to work with the consumer version, that is with a Bluetooth mobile phone, which will work fine. But the moment you start using apps that are business related, you'll find that the consumer versions are not really designed and geared. And what I've been told is that the applications require a certain amount of processing and optimization in order for that audio path to go through in both directions cleanly. And that's exactly what Jabra has done with the Evolve 285. And they have a couple other products as well that are also in the consumer space as well as the business space. But this is what you're going to get with the business version of this product. You're going to get the dongle. You're going to get the optimization for business applications. So if you are a business person and you want to use this for business as well as gaming, like we talked about earlier, you can use it as such. So I wanted to point that out. So let me show you the 85 comes in this nice sturdy case. All right. So you can take it travel with you. It comes with a few accessories. It comes with a cable. It comes with the cable. It comes with a USB cable. It's got a 3.5 cable. And I actually took the 3.5 cable to use it on this one. So this is the one that comes in the box. I really like it. And then it comes in with one of those prongs, so that if you happen to be traveling and your flight happens to catch or happens to have one of those audio adapters that are prong style, you just take the 3.5 cord that comes in the box, just put it right in there, and off the way you go. The last thing is the dongle. It's kind of buried in here. Can't really see it. It's in there though. This little black ridge, I'll take it out. I mean, it's kind of buried in there, and some folks miss it as well, but there it is. USB dongle. Okay. So that's what you get with the Jabra 2 Evolve.
What a great
Dave, you want
product.
to say something?
I think the headset itself speaks for itself. It's probably one of the larger headsets on the market today. It's certainly something that can double for business use, and you can use it for the gaming. Those dongles, my suggestion to Jabra would be put a little piece of red tape on that when it's stuck into the box so that it
Hmm.
doesn't get missed by some. I know that I've missed, a part like a dongle in a box before, but the product is available in black or beige. We do have it with the that charging stand, or of course you can buy it without the charging stand. You still have the ability to charge it, and then you can upgrade later on down the road with that stand if necessary.
And I'm glad you said something about the dongles. I have here on my desk something that I use with all my dongles, and it's this little cable. It's called a USB extender. As you can see, it's maybe about 10 or 12 inches long. Here's what I found. Even with as good as this 85 Evolve 2 is, and the 65, and all these other Bluetooth, you can't beat physics. And physics dictates that if your dongle is plugged into your laptop and your laptop may be behind or underneath your monitor, you're probably going to get a very short signal. You're not going to go very far. You're going to go maybe 10 feet, 15 feet, 20 feet, because the antenna, there's an antenna in here. Let me take this out. In the Bluetooth dongle as well. It's a really small antenna, right? And it's what allows it to see the headset. Same way with the headset itself. It's got an antenna on it. So now if those two antennas can't find each other because there's things blocking or getting in the way, your signal distance is going to go way down. Your range goes way down. So something as simple as this extender that sits on the side of your desk. Put it on the side of your desk or next to your monitor where I kind of have mine. And now I get much better range. And obviously I can't go out all the way out the door and go to the mailbox if I've left my phone inside, but I get much more distance because now the headset can see and capture that signal coming out of that Bluetooth. So highly recommended. And we will be coming out with a product like this in Q1. So stay tuned. So if you're interested in something like this, hit us up, send us a message, let us know, and we'll put you on the list for pre-orders.
Yeah, that's a smart suggestion there. For sure. We get people that say, we're not getting the range that we need or that we want. Pro tip, certainly one of those extenders, but even sometimes as simple as taking the dongle and changing the USB port where it's connected. It could be from the left side to the right side, just changing one or the other. Sometimes something as easy or simple as that is going to give you a little bit better range and better audio quality.
100%. And Ori, do we have the demos on the 65 and 85? All right. So let's queue up these two. So we actually put these to the test. We did a night test. So if you have a little one like I do, you don't want to wake them. It's it takes work to get them to get to bed, right? So if you've had a little one, you know what that's like. So what you're gonna see, this is a nighttime test where I'm kind of talking a little bit softer rather than loud. Where you saw the demo test previously was all about the blender and all about noise. This is actually the opposite. We want to see how well does that microphone pick up your voice, given that you're going to talk a little softer. So let's go to the 65. Ori. Hi there. We're going to do a test with the Jabra Evolve 265. It's a wireless headset by Jabra. And here's what it looks like if you have the box. Well, it's outside the box, but if you've got the box, this is what it looks like. And we're going to do a few tests. We're going to do a keyboard test. We're going to do a music test. We're also going to do a drink test. And we're also going to do a walk around loop-de-doo test to see how easy and how well it is to actually have it take a drink with this particular headset. So let's get started. So I've got Pandora that I'm going to be streaming onto my phone. You can also stream music to the headphones. So if you wanted to do that while you're working in between webinars or Zoom calls or whatever, you can stream it direct. I'm connected from between this device and the Bluetooth dongle that's connected to my MacBook right now, and that's what's receiving the audio. So let's turn this fire up the Pandora and get the test started. I'm going to set this off to the side, just trying to also simulate some background noise. All right, and we're back. So with the first test we want to do is just a simple keyboard test, and I'm going to go silent as well as talk to see what happens when I type on the keyboard. Let's see if it's picking up some of that noise. All right, and when I type, I'm trying to see if it's picking up those keystrokes that I'm pushing through this keyboard. Okay, that's good enough. And we have some music playing off to my left here in the background. We'll see if that's picked up as well. And we are going to do a drink test. Quite often, sometimes the booms get in the way when you try to drink, and sometimes you don't want people to hear. So I'm going to Unfortunately, for this headset, it has a wonderful feature that allows the boom as soon as you and when you come back down, it brings the audio live back in, and it's also prompting you that you're muted, so you get a prompt telling you muted, unmuted. That way you know exactly when somebody's listening to what you're saying. So as far as this goes, this is pass. It's a passing grade for the drink test. Now we'll do a walk around test. In this test, what we want to do is see if it's picking up my breath, my voice as I'm walking. Is it picking up any other wind or any other elements as I'm walking that would be disturbing to the user or actually to the person you're talking to? All right. So that's the walk around. Loop-de-doo test. Spinning around in the chair. Spinning, spinning, spinning. Spinning, spinning. All right, the loop-de-doo test. My 2-year-old would be proud. So we've done the drink test. It passes that. And now we've done the loop-de-doo test. And this should give you a good idea of what this microphone sounds like when you use the Jabra Evolve 2 65 wireless headset.
I know I laughed
Oh,
last time, Rolando. I gotta say,
yeah.
the audio that you're pushing out from that headset, it's crystal clear.
Yes.
You're not forcing it out. You're not talking like you said, you're trying to talk a little bit quieter, but I didn't have to strain to hear
Right.
you at all. Like it just sounded
Right.
so
I did
perfect.
have a viewer, Sarah from Florida, who pointed out you sound too quiet. So they've been listening to us on these wonderful microphones that I'm on, as well as that you're on, and obviously we're talking louder and whatnot. So the audio came
Sure.
down because I was talking quieter. Right. So yes, you may have had to crank that up. So Sarah, thanks for pointing that out to us. And but the point is, even if you had to increase your volume while you're listening to that, like you said, Dave, the audio is coming through clearly, and the microphone is doing its job and picking up my voice. You couldn't hear the keyboard. You really couldn't hear even the Pandora that I had in the background. It was really faded. So you really couldn't make that out. And that's what you want. It's in what we're trying to show people is a diversity of options. So if you work at home and your family's there or other people, you don't want to disturb them, right? So
Right.
if you're working at home and you're doing things at night, whether it's you're listening to your Pandora with this headset or connected on the computer or connected on your mobile phone, you can do that. You don't have to completely disrupt your workflow or those around you in order to get that done.
Or gaming late at night. Or gaming late at night.
Gaming.
Because I do hear my son sometimes getting a little loud when everyone else is trying to sleep and he's gaming at night.
Because
And
he's talking to other people, or what is he doing
he's
when he's
just using
gaming?
he's talking to people, but he's using a low quality product. So he has
Oh,
to raise his voice. He has to talk really loud.
Tell him you're bothering me. You're waking me up,
Yeah,
right?
that'll work.
Uh,
But in
there you
for
go. So
it's
Ori was saying it's a great idea for holidays, right?
this is a
So
great
it,
holiday gift for sure.
it, and especially if you are yeah, you're at home like us, right? Or you know somebody that is working from home. The 65 is a good entry level wireless. It's actually the mid range for Jabra that will allow them to get a high quality headset. I've given it out as a couple of gifts, and the people that have gotten the 65 really love it. Really like it, because if you were tethered, right, like this is right now, and you go to wireless, all of a sudden you're just like, whoa, just like I was doing, moving around. Like I don't have a cord. I don't have to watch. Like I'm just 2 feet connected to the computer, or your mobile phone is connected
Right.
to it, which is kind of annoying. You're just free to move.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't necessarily buy wireless headsets so that they can have 500 feet of wireless range. They just like the ability to be expressive, move a little bit around in their workspace. We've all been tethered to something and not realized that we're tied to something, and we get up, and next thing you know, you've pulled your phone off, or worse, you've broken a cord or broken a headset.
Well, you remind me of this. I mean, I've had multiple conversations like this. Customer calls and says, "Hey, I've got your headset that I got here," and usually one of the corded ones, right? And they say, I need a really long cord that can go about 20 feet. And I say, you
You need a
really
wireless
want to have a
headset.
cord? Yeah, you want to go to wireless. Now, could you do it? Yes. Is it practical? Probably not. Because once you get a 20-foot cord and you're going back and forth, it won't take very long for that cord to fray and you get static, and plus that 20-foot cord is going to weigh on you, especially if you're using it a lot.
Yeah,
It doesn't
it's
take a lot
messy.
to weigh your head down over the course of 8 or 10 hour day when you're working.
Yeah, good point. I didn't think about the weight of that cord, but yeah, a corded headset with the
Oh yeah,
cord attached to the phone.
yeah,
Yeah, it does. It is. It's pulling down.
and then you don't want that. You don't want that. So let me queue up it looks like we have one more demo here on the 85. So we did the exact same test, and in this test, what you're going to see is stripped down 85 Evolve 2. Now, my kid got into my stash of toys, of really work toys, like the 85, and took out the cushions. So I haven't found those cushions yet. They're gone. So what you're going to see is me having the 85 on, moving the boom. It's a little bit close to my face simply because I don't have those nice, beautiful pads that are envelope your ears. And I got to say, the 85 is so comfortable. I put it right up there with all the other high end. This is the flagship product for Jabra. They're really trying to compete in the space where you may have found a Bose or some of those other high end, because this is not a cheap headset. What do we have the 85H for? What is it on there?
So here we have it with the stand. With the charging stand. That bundle is what, $499.
There you go. So why, Dave? Tell me, I'm somebody that's watching. Tell me,
Okay.
why should I step up to the 85?
Listen,
What's so special about it besides what we just mentioned?
It's a professional communication tool that's going to make you more productive. Your clients are going to hear you better. You're going to hear your clients better, and you're going to save time on your phone calls. You will be less distracted from background noises. You have all day battery life, all day comfort, and then when the day is done, you can go play some video games. You don't have to recharge it. You can play late at night and talk quiet if necessary, and it's fully backed by a warranty from Jabra.
That's just terrific. I mean, I love the headset, but some folks may be saying $499, is that worth it? Totally worth it. You're going to see the demo here in a bit that actually shows you how good it performs. And with that said, Ori, go ahead and cue up the 85H video.
All right, so in this test, we're going to use a Jabra Evolve 285. Okay, so we have some music running in the background right now, and we're going to do a few things. First, we're going to go silent. See if that was picked up. Then we'll go ahead and type on the keyboard as well. Okay, so that's the keyboard test. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do a little whoop-de-doo. We're going to do a little walk around, see if the microphone picks up some of the wind noise from me walking around. Okay, so I'll go silent and we'll see how that goes. Okay, and then we'll do a little spinner test. I happen to have one of those chairs that spins, and sometimes you just kind of want to get away from it all as you're on a call. You're wondering, why am I on this webinar? I really should not be on here. I got roped into this meeting, and I really don't want to get out of this meeting, or I can't get out of the meeting. So here we go, and I'm going to go in extreme spinning here. So that's the whoop-de-doo test. And the last test, probably the most important one, especially if you're talking all day long, is the drink test. So some headsets will just flip, some headsets will rotate out, some headsets don't have the ability to do much with it. They're not intelligent. So I'm just going to try to drink with this on like this. Well, look at here. And now you probably didn't hear that because this guy now, when I flip it up, mutes and now brings it back to audio. It also has the ability to do that right over here. Where did it go? It's got that ability. Somebody's got a button. There we go. It's right here. Unmuted. And it tells me so I don't ever mistake myself for being muted when I'm not. So and have an embarrassing situation where you are not muted and you think you're muted and say something inappropriate, or some noise that is really bothersome to the person you're talking to. So as far as the drink test goes, this guy, I give it a passing grade for that.
What a
All
great
right.
product. And you know what I really like about that, Rolando, is when you put that microphone up, it conceals itself so it no longer looks like a headset, it looks more like headphones.
And
When I'm out, I mean, I see folks wearing large headsets in public, often.
yep.
People aren't embarrassed about it, but it's
No.
not having that microphone out it's a nice design piece.
And that seems to be if you're at headphone fanatic and you like headphones that provide premium audio. You don't, especially if you're spending this much for headphones, you don't want to have that boom just sticking out there. Especially if you're kind of out and about. You're on the bus, or you're in the train, or you're traveling. You just don't want that in your face. And so Jabra took that feedback and implement that with this particular microphone. It just slides and tucks back, so it's completely out of your way if you're listening to music, which a lot more folks are streaming their Pandora or some other music or podcasts, and they just don't want that boom. So now it just slides back. Now you can also create a mute. You can mute when you slide it back in, as well as like what I did, which is push the button. Like on the 65. So you have a great way from an office setup perspective or gaming, as well as noise canceling. I mean, we haven't talked about the noise canceling, but the noise canceling on this is phenomenal. So you have the active noise canceling like you do have on some the other maybe better known headsets. It's really good. So like if you're in a situation like I am now, and I don't want to hear the dog barking, I don't want to hear the TV playing in the kitchen, you can turn on the noise canceling with a button, as well as you have the ability to listen in. It actually will pipe in the audio outside of your headset. So if maybe you have a little one or they're sleeping. Let's say your little one is sleeping, and you're actually want to hear some of that audio in case maybe your little one is wakes up, starts crying. It does have what's called a pass-through mode, so that you can get some of that audio. And now the microphones actually has 10 microphones on it. So the microphone is turned actually outward. It's got outward-facing microphones on it, so that it can listen in. And I think this is probably a good time for just a quick. Here, I'll take it out of this case. Microphone. So you've got a bunch of microphones that are hidden in here, as well as that the one that's tucked in here will also listen in and grab audio. But what you're talking about mainly for the pass through are the microphones that are hidden in here in the little ridges in here. Okay.
Yeah. That's
and
nice.
Now you can hear that in pass through mode, so that you're not completely gone and in your own world. And in certain cases, that's a very helpful feature to have.
Yeah, and especially when we're working at home, sometimes when you're having a binaural or a two-ear headset on, like I have, you might think that there is a background noise. So just to quickly come up, hit the button, monitor, it's quiet. Okay, you can move on. It's also a nice feature. This happened to me recently. I forgot that I put some water on for tea. My teapot was whistling. I thought I heard a sound. And then when I hit this button, it was screaming in the kitchen. But I didn't have to jump off my phone call. It was just a real quick, just tap, heard it, tapped it off, walked out, was able to turn off the water. But yeah, that pass-through audio is certainly a nice feature as well.
It's a totally nice feature. I don't know if those are available on some of the products, but I know that on the 85, it's besides all of the things that you get with it, it is phenomenal. So if you're looking for a great gift idea, if you have somebody that's probably got everything under the sun and is a hard person to get something that they may not have, this Jabra Evolve 285 is definitely a way to go. It makes a great gift for virtually anybody. Your little one, your younger kid, yourself. Heck, splurge on yourself. A lot of us are trapped at home working all day long, and the smallest things make a big difference. And sometimes having something that you use every day. I mean, I'll give you an example. Just recently, somebody turned me on to these super comfortable t-shirts that are like the fabric is like the softest I've ever been in, and I use it mostly for sleeping now, and it makes a world of difference. And I never really splurged or anything like that, but this was totally worth it because now I feel I'm looking forward to the end of the evening to get in bed with my nice comfy shirt, and it just feels right. The same way with the gear that you use all day long. If you've got something on your head, and it's probably worth pointing out, if you are wearing a headset, and you probably see tons of movies and commercials that do something like this. Somebody's talking, and let's say they're using this headset. Actually, you know what? Let me do this because it's probably going to be more. So I can't hear you if you're saying something, Dave, but I'm gonna just to prove my what I'm trying to illustrate. You see people in the movies, they're talking, blah blah blah, whatever they're doing, or in a commercial, and then you see somebody do this, or you see somebody do this, or you see somebody do this. Like, that may look dramatic in a movie or in a commercial, but if you're doing this in real life, where you're trying to because usually you cannot hear yourself, or you can't hear the other person. So then it makes the conversation worse, because then you have to start yelling because you think you can't be heard, or because you're not hearing. So if you see if yourself, especially if you have a call center or if you have multiple workers and you see them doing this or this or this, that usually means they're not getting the right headset for them, because they should have a headset that delivers enough audio so that they can hear better. Now, with the benefit of the 85, you get that active noise canceling. So all you do is boop, slip it on, turn on the active noise canceling, you're in business. None of that. Because now if you're like this or like this, you're really trying to type, it really defeats the purpose of efficiency over what a headset should be doing for you.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a good thing to bring up there. I've seen that in call centers where they're using, kind of a lackluster or an entry-level type headset. And if you're in a call center and the folks are doing any of those things, it means that they don't have the right tool. If you're doing
Right.
this, you're not hands-free. If you're doing this, it means you are stressing to hear that person. And if your business relies on um, accurate information, your agents, your reps aren't getting accurate information with poor audio quality.
I couldn't say it any better than that. Now, I want to segue to our first trivia question. We have an answer. Ori. Yes, there we go. Which headset manufacturers are certified for Microsoft Teams usage? The answer? All of these. So Jabra, Plantronics, which is Polycom, and Plantronics, which is now Poly. EPOS, which is the new name for Sennheiser in the US. Logitech, and Bose has one product that's on there. So all of these manufacturers are certified for Microsoft Teams. So Dave, let's talk about what certified means, because people get hung up on this one way or another, that it's not certified, so I can't use it, or I can only use it because it's certified. These are the only ones. Why don't we just expand on that a little bit?
Sure. So to be certified with Microsoft, it's more than just an audio path at this point. Headsets allow the ability to communicate. A headset doesn't necessarily need to be certified to work with a Microsoft solution. But when the headset is certified, the user gets just a better user experience. It's plug and play functionality. It is full call control, and by call control, I'm thinking things like hitting a button on your headset to answer and end a phone call. The mute feature, also the volume control. There's no redundancy when you're using a Microsoft certified product and you are muting yourself. You're not just muting the headset, it's actually controlling the user interface as well. So it's muting that user interface. Same thing with the volume control. It's not redundant. You're locked in. You are changing the application. You're changing how the audio is being processed through the Microsoft solution. And then the answer and end, phone call feature is also a nice thing, where, maybe you have an incoming call. This has happened to me. You have an incoming phone call, but you've stepped away for a couple of minutes. Your computer has gone to sleep. You have your headset on. You hear your phone ringing. You need to get that call. You don't have to control, alt, delete, password, mouse hunt, find the answer button, and then click to answer. because it's all fully integrated, because it is certified at that point, all you need to do without even opening up your computer is just hit the button on your headset, and now you're on your phone call.
And you
So
know, one thing that you left out is if that some of these products, not just headsets that are approved, but telephones that are certified. It's a little bit different environment when we're talking telephones, and also speakerphones. So in the speakerphone space, you have Yealink, you have Jabra, and you have Polycom, and if I miss, and EPOS slash Sennheiser. They also have speakerphones that are team certified. And so I'm going to, so it's a good segue to go into is the speakerphones. And one thing I will say before we jump off the teams, Microsoft is also providing support for certified products, meaning you have an issue that's an audio issue and you're using Teams with a certified product, which is what we've also got in our listings in our carousel today. If you're watching us on Amazon Live, you have the ability to reach out from the Microsoft and they will provide you support. And that's not the case for non-certified products. So if certification is important to you and that's something that you want, Microsoft is there to back you up with technical support as well. So that's one of the other things that you get with certification. So I just mentioned about speakerphones, and one of the things that we talked about earlier, Dave, was how speakerphones is the right product for people that don't want to wear a headset. Maybe they're uncomfortable with wearing a headset. Maybe they just don't want to get something on their head or their hairdo. Or maybe they're just listening more of the time than actually talking, and they're trying to improve the audio from the factory speakers that are on their laptop,
which need to be upgraded. You know, using the speakers on our laptop is just not efficient. You know, when the folks that manufacture the laptops, they do a great job with the laptop itself, but they're not audio masters. They're not video masters. Built-in cameras, built-in speakers, built-in microphones. It's just they're mediocre at best. So for folks that are looking to upgrade and maybe don't want to wear a headset because not everybody wants to wear a headset, the speakerphone's such a popular option. We are highlighting some of the EPOS products today, and I think we may also have a quiz question on this. And
well, let's go to the quiz question. Oh, wait, well, you got the product page right now. Well, we can come back to the quiz question in a second.
Okay.
This the 30 plus that we're showing?
Yes.
So the 30 plus, I got to tell you, I've recently got this this speakerphone in my hands, and I loved it. The audio quality was phenomenal. I was not expecting to be blown away by the audio quality on the Sennheiser. I mean, Sennheiser is known for audio, but the audio quality on it was very, very good. And I've used them all. I used again. And so here you get a dongle with a 30 plus, as well as the USB cord. That's the important thing. With the 30 plus version, it comes with the dongle included. The 30 by itself only includes the speakerphone and the USB connection. Now, another thing that's important on the EPOS series, they do have a USB-C to USB-A adapter in the box. So if you happen to have a USB-C, let me pull this over here. Maybe. Oh, maybe I give a nugget away. So in the box, you get the ability to use that. Let me show you what it looks like in my hands. It's a very nice speaker. It's very it's well built. It's got some weight to it, really. I was expecting to be lighter weight because I've used other products, and we're going to talk about some other speakerphones. It feels quite heavy for the size, and I don't know if that helped influence my decision or not, but it does have some heft to it, and it comes in this nice little neoprene case, so you can just take it and throw it in the bag, and you're good to go.
Hey, Rolando, does that slide around on the desk, or is there any padding, anything underneath that from kind of moving around?
Well, it does have some ridges on the bottom. It's
See
just like
that?
a rubberized thing that it's
Okay.
got, so it can easily just sit on your desk without a lot of sliding. Let me just put it down again. Yeah, it doesn't move around a lot with the rubberized padding that it's got on the bottom. So it just sits on your desk and it won't slide around and move a whole lot.
And now this is the SP30T bundled with the dongle. So this can be wired or wireless.
Wired or wireless. Yeah. So if you happen to just want to use it USB mode, you can. Or let me show you here. This one does come with the wire. So if you happen to want to just use it connected directly to your PC, you can. Or you can go with the Bluetooth dongle on this version. The 20 also does not have, well, the 20 and the 30 don't have the dongle. The 30 plus comes with the dongle, and then there's a 30T. The 30T version comes with the dongle and is specifically made for Teams. I should say, let me back up. The 30T is optimized for Teams, and what that means is you have Teams. It's going to work right out of the box, plug and play. It's got several features that are going to be ready to go without you doing anything. You can leave calls and meetings with the Teams button. You can mute and unmute yourself. You can respond to meeting nudges that are on Teams. You can also answer calls, as well as place call on hold, as well as activate those held calls. So there's a lot you get in terms of an integration for Microsoft Teams. So if you're a Teams user, you really love the Teams version. Now, can you use the Teams versions for other applications? Absolutely. But you won't have those integrated functions that I just mentioned out of the box. You may need to you may need to download the Sennheiser app and check that your software, for example, let's say Ring Central or Fuse or Vonage, you'll have to check that those features are integrated as well into the app. If they're not, doesn't mean you can't use it. You just won't have the ability to answer the calls and do the nudges and all that kind of stuff. You have to do it natively on the app itself to answer or disconnect the call.
Right. And you know what? It does have a 2-year warranty. The product will live for a very long time. Organizations, they change those UC platforms. So you might not be using something that has those advanced capabilities today, but down the road, when your organization changes and you're using a different application, then the product's going to follow you right along with however you're adapting with new technology.
It's future proof. I mean, it's a product that you could take with you for multiple platforms. I know that a couple of weeks ago, the folks over at Microsoft had a problem with Teams. Teams went down several times, and some people started looking for other options. And fortunately for customers that have devices just like the one, like the EPOS 30, SP30, you can use whatever platform. So that now if you're using Meet or some other conferencing, Zoom, you're good to go. You don't have to do anything special for that.
Excellent. So we are highlighting this particular bundle. Ori had just had it up, but that's we have it down on the carousel. So this is the best bundle here with the Microsoft certification, the dongle, the Bluetooth. So that's for $249. But for folks that might be on a tighter budget that still want the ability to be hands-free, they still like the idea of having the speakerphone. They also make the SP. Which one is this? The SP20. The 20, and the SP20 is what are we listing this one at? About $100, $159, and this is strictly corded USB, and it also has a 3.5 millimeter dongle there as well, so you can plug it into your laptop. You could also plug it into your cell phone. Same great audio quality, same design, just a little bit less features for the budget conscious.
Right. You still get good quality audio. Just the stripped down version of the it's the entry level model for the Sennheiser folks, or EPOS, compatible on both Mac and PC.
Yep.
So you
That,
should be good to go there with either one of those platforms. And obviously, on this one, it's a bundle that we're featuring that includes our gold support plan. So if you do have any questions, you have any support issues that you run into, you can reach out to us through the Amazon app and reach out to us, and we'll prioritize your communication. Or you can call us and reach out to us, and we'll absolutely make sure that you get the support that you need. So gold support plan, not a lot of folks are offering that. Given that Global Tech's been around for over 20 years, we've seen a thing or two. And so we can very easily support whatever platform you're on if you run into some snags.
so we had a trivia question,
Yeah.
and I think
Go
it was
for it.
related about this particular product. So,
All right.
Corey, you want to pull this up? All right. So Rolando may have accidentally answered this, but that's okay. We want to give our viewers a chance to answer it. So the question is, how many ways can you connect to an EPOS 30 Bluetooth speakerphone? There are 3 different ways that you can connect, and we'll answer this towards the end of the broadcast here.
Awesome. I like it. I like it. I like it, Dave. I know I got a little bit ahead of myself. I should have been looking at my notes.
No, that's okay. I think it's a good idea. You know what? We gave the answer.
That's
Gave
all
the
right.
answer.
See.
So
That's
we'll
all
see
right. We'll
who's
come
paying
back to it.
attention. All right.
All right. We do have another lineup of speakerphones that are also certified from Microsoft Teams. If you are looking for that, as well as if you're not looking for that, that also come in at in a very affordable range. These are the Yealink. So let's talk about Yealink for a little bit. And while we're doing that, Ori, why don't you put up the landing page on the 900 with no dongle? Okay, so we got the 700. That's fine. Is that what we're looking at? 700. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Yealink, because this is a little this line, this manufacturer, for a lot of folks that may be watching us, whether they're watching us live or hearing us during the playback. This line is something new. The manufacturer is not a new manufacturer. They've been around for several years. They've been manufacturing very good quality IP phones and the larger conference room speakerphones. And prior to the pandemic, actually in January, or actually even further back, probably in December, late November timeframe, they started releasing these speakerphones because they wanted to have this product in the market. And what their claim to fame here is that they have built in, and I've got the 700 over here, as well as we've got it here, is that they've got technology that they use with Harman Kardon for the speakers. And if you have not had a chance to hear what their okay, so we're showing the 900. That's fine. The 900 is perfect. So on the got it. So the audio quality on their high-end stuff is phenomenal. They take a lot of what they have on the high-end stuff from a technology perspective and miniaturized it into their smaller speakers. So if you're looking to maybe get into a speakerphone, and maybe you find you want something even more budget friendly, or you're getting it for a group of people, the Yealink will not disappoint. It on the 700 side, it's their entry level model. The 900, and I'm being told that on the 700 we're out. Dave, we sold out of the 700s.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen.
And so and that's even before we got to feature anything on it, but it's been a very popular product. It's at a very aggressive price point. If you want the 700 and we have it unavailable, just reach out to us. We can find out when more are coming in, and we can let you know. Again, just reach to us. If you're on Amazon, reach through the Amazon app, contact seller, and we'll get in touch with you and let you know when we know we're gonna receive more quantities or have them in available for sale. If you're on one of our other platforms, YouTube or Facebook, reach out to us through the chat or call us. we'll be glad to provide you some information on when those are available as well. But the 700 is the entry level model. We just sold out, and the 900 is the premium version of that, and it's a very good product. It's a very slim. This is what I'm holding right now in my hand is the 700. It's very lightweight. Feels a little lighter than the EPOS, and that's why I was saying earlier that the EPOS just felt heavy because this one is so light. This is much lighter. And if you're traveling, maybe that's the thing you want. You want something fairly lightweight that doesn't take up too much space and can go very easily in your travel bag. And that's what we get with the 700 as well as the 900. Now on the 900, Ori, go back to the 900. So you see on the 900, and if you can zoom in on that image, you'll see that on the 900, you get a little bit improved audio. It's got a raised speaker. It's got more room. It's going to give you a little bit more bass, more of that low frequency. The audio in it is, again, really good what you're getting for the price. Like I said, Yealink is just not known for this because they've been more in the telephone space as well as the high-end conference phones. But you can't go wrong with this product either. So if you're trying to be a little more budget conscious, Yealink is being very aggressive this holiday season with their pricing because they want to compete against the big boys. They want to compete against Polycom. And Dave, if you talk to Yealink, they tell you they are neck and neck on the telephone side with Polycom, now known as Poly, in terms of the amount of telephones they ship annually.
Sure.
And this was prior to the pandemic, so those numbers are a little bit different now because most folks, whether you're a large enterprise or even small, you're not buying as many desktop phones as in previous years. But still, the Yealink folks would like to tout, and they do tout, the fact that they ship as many phones out as Polycom does on an annual basis.
Yeah, and if they can compete in that particular space against Poly on the phones, there's no reason why they can't be competitive here. The solution is great, the price is right, and it's going to give you that hands-free without the need to put a headset on your head.
That's right. And so speakerphones, again, a good gift, especially if you have somebody that's doing distance learning. I know a lot of schools are going more virtual. At the time of this stream, so if you're watching us, who knows, 5 months from now, 2 years from now, it'll be dated. But as of today, there's a lot of high schools, a lot of colleges, and even other elementary schools that are going more virtual. I know that we recently had a customer, Dave, where we were talking about you and I worked pretty actively with them, a school that went pretty much virtual, right? They're all virtual.
Yeah, they went 100% virtual. A lot of the schools here in New England are doing the same thing. What a good idea to have. Again, it's this tool. If the experience you want is something better than what you have today, a speakerphone is just an easy way to get into that.
And because they're so plug and play, and a lot of times you get, especially in the school systems, one of the things that we hear is we want something that just works, that doesn't frustrate the professor or the teacher, and in terms of a setup, because it's the IT person's worst nightmare is that you have a bunch of users that can't really use the product because it takes so many steps to get it to work.
Right. Yeah, so something that's very user friendly. Pair it or connect it physically, and you're off to the races.
No drivers needed. Right?
That's right.
So you don't need a driver to make this work. So if you're worried about downloading drivers and all the rest, you don't have to do that. You have the ability to just be plug and play. And if you're using Meet, Hangouts, and a lot of schools are using all kinds of different platforms, Schoology, and others, very easy to use with all those other apps. So you can't go wrong with the Yealink as well. We've got one more product that we want to feature today. And it's speaking of going virtual, the Konftel Cam 20. Now, a lot of people I know I'm one of those. I was very fortunate. I had a webcam before March, because once the end of March came around, everything webcam that was USB was gone. And as of today, if you try to look for some of the lower end webcams made by Logitech, they're just not available. And they're telling us, they won't be available till maybe mid-January or February. And quite frankly, if you saw a webcam, you're probably seeing a lot of webcams that you've never seen before, and that has to do with a lot of the supply chain being disrupted. All of these manufacturers, whether they're making headsets, speakerphones, webcams, they all tend to be sourcing the similar types of technologies in terms of items, the hardware themselves. Somebody's got to build them. Somebody's got to put the circuit boards and resistors and everything else into those silicone chips. And when you have tons of manufacturers all competing for a limited supply, you're going to get some supply chain disruptions. And some of the more even larger companies, like I said, Logitech, they still have supply chain issues when it comes to webcams. So Konftel is one of those companies that has been known for speakerphones. They were acquired by Avaya a few years ago, and they're diversifying their portfolio. And one of the things that they were coming out with was a line of camcorder, not really camcorders, that's a whole different thing, but there weren't necessarily webcams. There's video conferencing cameras. That's what a word I was looking for. And so they started with video conferencing because prior to the pandemic, there were a lot of huddle rooms that were becoming the rage. So small spaces where you have 4 people, 5 people, 2 people that were very common and were being used quite heavily and frequently. And they started coming out with these video conferencing tools like the Cam 20, and they have some more expensive ones that's where they started. They were a little bit more expensive, and they released something that's more consumer friendly and business friendly in terms of a price point. Ori, could you go back to that page for a second? I just want to see where we're at price wise on this one. I think we're at $329.
Yeah, $329 for the
Cam 20?
Yeah, about $329 for the camera. Ori had actually had a bundle up that we have as well that includes a speakerphone and a switch. But this camera right here, yep, just the webcam, $329.
And if you like the video quality that's coming through of my video, I'm using that exact same camera. So I'm walking the walk, talking the walk. The Cam 20 is what I'm using to bring you my video, and it does a really good job. No drivers needed, plug and play. There was no learning curve. It comes with also a remote control. I've got it right here on my desk because I use it quite a bit. And actually, you'll give the people a little bit of a taste. So I can zoom out, zoom in. I can do more, but there's a lot more background that I'm trying to avoid showing. I can move it down, and I can move it up, all from the remote control. So it's so easy to use, and this comes with a menu that you can change the colors and your saturation and your gamma and all these other things, so that you can get an optimal video quality. If you're a streamer, and we have a lot more people that are doing streaming to YouTube, to Twitch, or even for work applications like Zoom or WebEx, Blue Jeans, all the rest, you would be getting a very good camera. It does 4K. It also does 1080p. Did I get that right? 1080p. Yep. It does 1080p. There you go. There's the 4K Ultra HD. It has autofocus. As you can see, I'm going to move it back. I'm going to move forward, and you can still see my face without it getting blurry. And so that's one of those things on some of the lower end webcams. You don't get as good as autofocus on it. So the autofocus on this is quite good for this price point. So you're going to get a quality, professional camera where you can see your face. In this case, I have exterior some lighting, but you see good resolution. And then because of certain limits using some of the different platforms, I'm only broadcasting at 720p. So I'm not even shooting this image out over 1080p. It's 720. And then for 720, it really does a pretty good job of sending out high quality image. Oh, and then Dave. Okay. I caught you off guard.
Sorry about that. I was looking
go
at,
ahead.
I was seeing who was coming in to chat with us through
Ah.
through Amazon. We got a couple of shout outs here. We got Sheila. Sheila, how are you? We got Ryan from New Hampshire. Ryan, how are you? We have someone by the name of Hey. Hey.
Of Hey?
That's good.
Hey, can't see anything. Hey says he can't see anything. What happened there? Hey, can you let us know why you can't see anything? Let us know. Well, when you come back. Hey, maybe you're listening to us now. But I can see you, Dave. I see you there.
That's good. You know, one thing with that camera, that Konftel camera, so it is good, obviously, for work at home. When things open back up and people start returning back to the office, it will accompany a nice sized room of people as well. And I like the ability to control the pan tilt zoom with that controller, because that's just
that's what it
something
was
that
designed
webcams can't
for.
do. Yeah.
It was designed so that you can do pan tilt zoom very easily in a room. But I got to tell you, working from home and being able to, and sometimes let's just demonstrate, you got to get up, right? And if I got to get up because I don't want to sit all day long, right? Or for 10 or 20 minutes, I can stand up without having to go back and take the camera off the stand, move it around, jostle it. Or in some cases you can't because you have it on your laptop and you can't raise your laptop, right?
Right.
It's just on your
Right.
desk. This guy just goes with you. So now if I want to go down and sit, I can just do that. I don't have to mess around with the camera, right? There's that whole thing. So that it's all about being efficient when you're working, especially when you're working. If you're working long hours, you're in front of your computer, or you're streaming, or maybe you're streaming and gaming. That's the other one that I've seen a lot of folks looking for a good quality camera that doesn't break the budget. This is a good one. It's not the most expensive one out there, but you're certainly going to get a lot of features crammed in with this to make your streaming easier. And that's what it's all about. Make it easier on yourself, plug and play, good image. And if you're doing this from a professional standpoint, and you're YouTubing and doing that kind of thing, you'll find that your image quality will be much better than some of the lower end webcams out there.
So I think we did a good job today, Rolando. So we highlighted some pretty important items. We have your work from home headsets. We have the Blueparrott lineup for folks that are maybe more on the go. They need something a little more rugged. We did go through the line of speakerphones. Nice hands-free options there.
Yes.
And the video cam, the Cam 20. So
the Cam 20.
Great technology to get the job done. We might want to jump to that trivia question.
All right, let's go for it.
Now, I don't know if you want to make the announcement. You can talk about the SP30. Was this something that we were doing a giveaway on?
Yes. And what we're going to do is, because we've got several folks on different platforms that are watching us, we're going to announce the winner on our social media platform when we give that away. So if you found us through social media, you will get notified because we will shout it out, let the world know that you won.
What are we giving away?
We're giving out an EPOS 20. I'm sorry, a 30. A 30. Very good speakerphone. This model right here. One of the ones that whoever wins will enjoy for years to come.
Excellent.
All right. So, this just wrapping up, as you said, I think folks that are out there, let's remind them you can reach out to us on any of the platforms, YouTube, Facebook. You're watching us on Amazon Live, and if you're on Amazon, you can also check out Subscribe and like if you're on the different platforms. We will send you further updates on future streams and deals, so you'll get that right in your phone, and you get it in your app. You'll get notified. So check us out, subscribe, follow, do all that fun stuff so that you can keep getting products. And if you like this streaming content and there are some other things that you'd like to see in the future, reach out to us. We love hearing from our customers and love to hear what ideas and things that would be of interest to you. So we reach out to us on whatever platform you're on. One of us will also contact you, and thank you for reaching out to us. Any other parting words today, Dave?
We got to answer that question, and then we can get out of here for the day.
All right.
So the back up with that trivia question, Ori. All right. So we did give the answer during the broadcast. So how many ways can you connect to an EPOS 30 Bluetooth speaker? The answer is 3. You can connect USB-A, USB-C, and Bluetooth. So it's a very convenient product that will work the way that you need it to work right out of the box. Another quick note on that, EPOS, thank you very much. You guys put the USB-C adapter in that package, so good job there.
Yes, you don't have to choose. It doesn't matter what computer you have, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about that with EPOS/Sennheiser. They thought of that. If you're listening, Jabra, Plantronics, and other manufacturers, just include the adapter in the box. Make it easy on the customers. EPOS/Sennheiser, you guys killed it on that aspect. Kudos to you.
Kudos to you. All right. Well, I think we can wrap it up. This was a good day. Folks can order today. They can order tomorrow. We will ship out immediately. Again, great gifts for the professional that's working from home / professional gamers out there, because I know they are out there.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you on another stream.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.